3 mana 3/3 haste and 1 line of text that has nothing to do with attacking. Whenever Kilo becomes tapped, proliferate. Not when it attacks. Tapped. Any way you can find. 17,252 people have built this robot since August. It is the face of a pre-constructed deck and the card costs $1.72. Coming up, the engine, a station rules trap that is quietly costing people counters every game, the real draw math, and why the expensive half of this deck is the half you can skip. Read the trigger with me, because the wording is the entire deck. Becomes tapped. That is a stage change, so it fires when Kilo attacks, when you tap it for mana, when you tap it to station a Spacecraft, and even when an opponent taps it down on their turn. What it never does fire on a Kilo that enters the battlefield already tapped, because a permanent that enters tapped never becomes tapped. And that haste is the design team telling you the plan. Cast it, tap it, proliferate on turn 3. So who is actually building this? The numbers here come from EDHREC. Kilo shipped inside Counterintelligence the Jeskai deck from Edge of Eternities Commander on the 1st of August 2025, and in that first month it was the 4th most built commander on the planet. Then the release rush ended. By January it had settled at 55th, 58th in February, 58th in March, 73rd in April, 85th in May. That looks like a slide, and it is not. The monthly deck count went up in May, not down. Precon face cards usually crater. This one just found its level. There are 4 real ways to build it, and the split tells you something. Artifacts leads with 1221 locked decks, +1/+1 counters is next at 999. Proliferate, the thing the card literally does, is only 3rd at 628. Combo brings up the rear at 414. Most builders park the finished list in bracket 3, so this is a casual table deck with real teeth. That is who builds it. Here is the engine all of them end up building. 2 cards do most of the heavy lifting. Tekuthal, Inquiry Dominus sits in nearly 85% of these decks, and the line that matters is short. If you would proliferate twice instead. Every tap of your commander is now worth double for $1.24. Then Surge Conductor at 35 cents proliferates every time another non-token artifact you control enters. 42 of the 99 cards here are artifacts. That is not a trigger, that is a metronome. Edge of Eternities brought Spacecraft to Commander, and they need a sentence of explaining. A Spacecraft does nothing until you station it, which means tapping another creature you control and putting charge counters on it equal to that creature's power. In Spirit, Flagship Vessel needs 1 counter before it starts feeding counters to your artifacts every combat. And at 8 it flies and hands every other artifact, hexproof and indestructible. Uthros Researchcraft draws a card of every artifact spell once it reaches 3. Both are under $1.50. Now here is the trap. And it costs people counters every game. Stationing is a cost, and you tap Kilo to pay it. So the Proliferate trigger goes on the stack above the station ability and resolves first, while the ship is still empty. Proliferate only adds counters that are already there. Stationing an empty spacecraft with your commander does nothing for that ship at all. Get 1 counter on it some other way first, and every station after that is worth an extra charge. 8 more cards in the 99 proliferate without the commander. Thrumming Bird is 26 cents, it flies, and it proliferates whenever it connects with a player, which a 1-power flyer reliably does. Patrolling Peacemaker proliferates whenever an opponent commits a crime and at a 4-player table, that is most turns of the round. And Khan's Bastion is a land in 74% of lists, because a proliferate you can hold up costs nothing to keep open. Then the payoffs, and this is where the deck gets rude. Darksteel Reactor is 36 cents, is indestructible, and at 20 charge counters you simply win the game. Magistrate's Scepter turns 3 charge counters into an extra turn, which a deck adding 2 or 3 a turn does not find hard. And Lux Artillery is 29 cents. At 30 counters across your board it throws 10 damage at every opponent. So that is the machine. Now let's open the 99 and count what is in there. 62 non-land cards at an average mana value of 3.1, and the fat column is 3 with 20 cards standing in it. But the interesting column is 0, on far left, and it holds 5. 3 of those are X spells. Astral Cornucopia, Walking Ballista, and Hangerback Walker all enter, with counters equal to what you paid, and a commander that proliferates is the best argument for casting a small one. 37 lands, 21 creatures, 21 non-creature artifacts, 9 instants, 5 sorceries, 4 enchantments and 2 planeswalkers. That donut undersells the deck because 15 of those 21 creatures are artifact creatures as well, and 6 of the lands are artifact lands. Count everything with the word artifact printed on it and you are at 42 cards out of 99. Improvise, Affinity and Metalcraft all get very easy to turn on. So what does that mean for your actual draws? 8 cards proliferate on their own, and by turn 3 you have found one of them 59% of the time. 10 of the 99 are mana artifacts, so 54% of opening hands come with a rock, which matters when your commander wants to be down on 3, and 42 artifacts is the number that makes it hum. Numbers on a page are one thing. Here is what a game looks like. Turn 3, Kilo lands with haste, attacks, taps, proliferates. Turn 4, Tekuthel, Inquiry Dominus arrives and every tap is worth 2. Turn 5, Darksteel Reactor comes down and starts ticking. Turn 6, in Spirit, Flagship Vessel is charged and feeding 2 counters a turn into whatever you pointed at. And around turn 8 the reactor crosses 20, or Lux Artillery counts 30 counters and hits everybody for 10. You never had to win a fight to get there. And then the line that 8200 decks across EDHREC have registered get 1 charge counter onto Inspirit, Flagship Vessel, and every combat it puts 2 more onto an artifact of your choice. Point them at Magistrate's Scepter. Then attack with Kilo. It taps, you proliferate, there is your 3rd counter. Tap the Scepter, remove 3, take an extra turn, untap, do it again. 3 cards, and the game ends when you decide. Right, the money. And this deck spends it somewhere genuinely strange. The average Kilo list on EDHREC comes to about $230. 7 of the 10 highest synergy cards in it are not lands, and those 7, the cards that make it a Kilo deck at all, cost $7.96 together. Meanwhile, 6 cards in the same list exist to do one job, untapping something. Freed from the Real, Pamin's Aura, Paradise Mantle, Unwinding Clock, Clock of Omens and Relic of Legends. $57, the counters are cheap, untapping is the bill. And you can decline to pay it, because Kilo has haste and attacking taps it for free. More than 8 and 10 budget builds run these 3, and together they are 92 cents. Lux Cannon destroys any permanent for 3 charge counters, which here means every other turn instead of every 3rd. Tezzeret's Gambit draws 2 and proliferates, and Resourceful Defense catches the counters off a permanent that dies and moves them onto something still alive. 3 more and all 3 together are 97 cents. Steel Overseer taps to put a +1/+1 counter on every artifact creature you control, and you have 15 of those. Pented Prism enters with a charge counter for each color of mana you spent on it, and every proliferate puts 1 straight back, so it is a 2 mana rock that refuels itself. And the Experimental Augury digs 3 deep and proliferates on the way out. But if you are going to spend it in one place, because these endgames, Freed from the Real is $9.84, and it is the best card you can add here. Blue to tap the enchanted creature, blue to untap it. Put it on Kilo and every blue mana buys it proliferate. On its own, that is just an expensive engine. Add Relic of Legends at 90 cents, which taps an untapped legendary creature for 1 mana of any color. Tap Kilo, make a mana, proliferate, spend that mana untapping it. The loop pays for itself. Unwinding Clock is $19 and untaps all your artifacts during every other player's untap step. Kilo is an artifact creature, so with any tap outlet you are proliferating on 4 turns of the round instead of 1. Tezzeret, Cruel Captain is $19.47, gains loyalty whenever an artifact enters, and a 0 untaps an artifact and puts a counter on it. That is a 2nd tap every turn from a planeswalker that never goes down. So here is the entire 99, and then one last thought. That is the average Kilo Apogee Mind list exactly as EDHREC has it. 37 lands, 6 of them artifact lands, 42 artifacts, 8 proliferate sources, a doubler on top of them, and 3 separate cards that win the game outright if the counters climb high enough. Artifacts, counters, combo, whichever way you take it, the shape underneath never changes. Make counters, then find a reason to tap your commander. Whenever Kilo becomes tapped, proliferate, not attacks, tapped. Build around that one word instead of the word attack and the deck plays itself. $1.72 for the commander, $7.96 for the 7 cards that make it work, and $57 of untap effects you do not need yet. This has been EDH decks. The numbers came from EDHREC and there is a new deck tag every week.